Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Batman Arkham City Hard Plus difficulty video walkthrough, and this is fighting your way to the tower. So, after the most pointless cutscene in the fucking game, the most contrived excuse to have DLC, you can now move out into the Arkham City environment once again, and we're going to be pushing towards the massive tower in the middle. I think it's called the Justice Tower, but to get there, we have to do something that this game does extremely well, and that is backtrack through an area we've already been in to do something slightly different, to get to somewhere slightly different. So, backtracking usually is one of those things that you're grown at, but in this game it's not too bad. The only problem is, before we can get to the tower, we need to get a code off a helicopter. And this is really gay, this bit, because I don't think there's a way to, find the chopper indefinitely. I think it's random, and if it's not random, it's still highly bullshitty, because what you've got to do is you've got to fly really close to the choppers and you've got to scan them. And if the scan comes up positive, that's the one you need to steal the codes from. If it doesn't, you've got to find another one. And these helicopters will attack you if they see you. And if you've got good protection against bullets, you'll probably not even have to blink, but I don't. So if they see me, I'm in some serious trouble. And if it's because it's on hard, they're really accurate. They're super accurate, so you get really shit on really quickly. And I think I find the one I need to hack, and then one of them sees me and absolutely rapes my face, and I somehow manage to survive it. But it's one of those things where this is not a hard section, but you can get screwed just because of the bullshit of what you're doing. And this is just filler. This is not a good mechanic. I would prefer to have been taking down numerous choppers than running around scanning ones that don't mean all. It just seems really contrived. But instead of talking about it, I'll talk about some other things, because it's just a little bit more interesting when I do that. And this is all simple. I can't exactly tell you much more strategy than run around and scan a chopper, because it don't take that much more strategy, really. And I've been trying to clear up the rest of the achievements and clear up Arkham City. I've just done all of the side quests except for Calendar Man. And I don't know where Calendar Man is, but I'll find him. And I'm having a lot of trouble finding some of the Riddler trophies, because you look at your map once you've done the interrogations and you've got those little question marks everywhere, and then you go to where the question marks are and you can't see a damn thing. And then when you can see them sometimes, they just make no sense. Like, there's ones that want you to repeat a pattern of what they're doing, and they seem to go on forever, and I ain't got patience for some of this shit, man. It really bugs me. I don't understand why they've made them so anal in this game. In Arkham Asylum, they were just hanging about. You just had to blow walls up or get creative with your platforming. You didn't have to fucking play Simon Says with a bunch of switches, and I really don't like that shit. I don't mind the Batarang stuff. The Batarang stuff's okay. I don't mind the electricity where you move the ball through the cages and the doors and stuff. That's perfectly fine. But all this pattern memorization bullshit, it just fucks me off. There's just no need for it. There's no need for a lot of it. And the only ones I'm really enjoying at the minute are literally the ones which come up with the riddle line. You've got to use your camera to pick out the section. They're the only ones I'm having fun with. Everything else I'm just kind of thinking, why is this shit in the game? And it's a shame, because I did enjoy all the Riddler stuff on the first game, and on this game, 400 trophies, man. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just too much. It overwhelms people. As soon as you get into Arkham City, it's an overwhelming bloody feeling, because there's so much shit you can mess with and you don't know if you're supposed to. And it's a lot of the reasons why people don't enjoy stuff like Oblivion, or Fallout 3 is a really good example. You did the introduction to Fallout 3, the vault opened up, you went outside and you were like, wow, what the hell do I do now? And some people don't have the drive to go and explore new worlds and explore every nook and cranny of some crazy place. People want to be told where they have to go, and if you don't tell them, they turn it off and play something else. And that's the thing with this, when it seems like it's so big, but then as soon as you realise how quickly you can fly through it, it's not very big at all. And then you think there's everything happening and there's tons of stuff to do, and you start doing it and you realise there's not that much stuff to do. So it's kind of strange. And this is the music from my intro for some reason. That was a hell of a lot more epic than it should have been. Check it out, it's still going, man. Orchestra in full blare. But this is potentially the second hardest fight of the game, or perhaps the first hardest fight for some. Because I didn't have too much trouble in the Joker boss fight, but I do know that it's a tough fight. And this is not the hard bit, this is just the introduction to the hard bit. Once you kill these guys, Hugo Strange is going to come up on the monitor, and a shit ton of guys are going to come out of the door to your left. The fence is going to start raising, the guys are going to come in, they're going to have doors, they're going to have armour, they're going to have electricity stun batons. They're just a pack of wolves, basically. And you've got to listen to this douchebag talk for ages before you can fight them. And it's super annoying. Because if you move, they punch you. And you can't punch them back. And it's really gay. So watch this. I get a bit too carried away and he pokes me with a stun baton. But the reason I think this is probably the second hardest fight of the game is the arrangement of enemies on New Game Plus. There's a lot of dudes, and there's a lot of dudes with items, with weapons, and with abilities that they don't normally have. And the shield guys, especially, if you get overly aggressive shield guys, you're in for a world of hurt, 'cause they're a pain in the ass. That red counter symbol comes up, which I don't know what it means. I think it means it's unblockable. He does his little shield bash, and unless you're jumping over somebody, you're going to get hit, and he's going to ruin your combo, and he'll do it for days, because he's an absolute wanker, and I really do not like them shield dudes. They're assholes. The guys with the stun batons are equally as assholey, because you'll be doing a combo, you'll go to the right and punch a guy, and you'll run into one of them, and they'll screw your combo up, they'll shock you, and they'll enable you to get comboed a little bit. But here we go. So there's two guys with armor, there's one guy with a shield, there's one guy with a stun baton, and the first thing I do straight away after I can fight is I freeze one of the stun guys, because I don't like the stun batons whatsoever. To me, they're the worst ones. Then I focus on this guy here with the armor to build my combo. And one thing I will say as well, if somebody's got a weapon that you don't like, if you press Y and X, you will do a special execution that destroys the weapon. And it's a really useful one. And I don't use it all that often, because moving your fingers to that direction on the pad can be kind of awkward unless you're a beat-em-up fan. And I ain't played beat-em-ups for a long time, so I'm not used to doing that kind of motion. Especially when I can just do A and B and A and X and stuff, and X and B. It's all similar, but the X and Y is a fantastic move for getting rid of the dudes you don't like. But once you start fighting these guys and you get comfortable with the pattern, they release a few more into the room. And that's the reason why it's more challenging than it looks, because it's a long fight and it's with aggressive enemies that can screw you over. Luckily enough, you'll have no trouble with this fight whatsoever if you play it right, but it's one of those things where sometimes you can just get screwed if you're unlucky, and I got screwed a lot when I was recording this, and I don't think I died the first time through it, but on Hard Plus, it kicked my ass a little bit. But just keep on fighting the way you have been fighting. Make sure you freeze the guy you don't like when he comes out of being freezed. Use all the gadgets you can, and a good strategy for when you get crowded is to do the toothpaste / bat gel move, where he does a cartwheel and he sprays some gel, because you don't seem to take any damage when you're doing it, and you can knock a bunch of them on their ass, and it gives you a lovely bit of breathing room, so it's well worth investing in if you're not used to doing it. It's a cool move. And there's the fight. So a couple minutes of nothing but, you know, pugilist nonsense, and we're back to where we were. You don't have to hack this door that I'm hacking right now. I just hack everything out of habit. What you've got to do is, there is a grate to my left that leads down into the underground, into the basement where we've been before, and it's going to lead us to a familiar room, and this time the room's going to be filled with a lot more difficult enemies and a more awkward situation. There was a Riddler trophy on the roof, but I ignored it, because this is not about Riddler trophies. This is about me running up to this window and punching my way through it. There we go. Gotta love that. But yeah, it's just on the manhole cover to my left, and it's the end of the level, people. So thanks for watching. I hope the guide's helping, and you take care now.